Hi Capricorn, welcome to this reading. You might find it resonates more though if this is your moon or rising sign, but let's see. So, I reawaken my soul's desire to learn and grow beyond existing limitations. Wow, so straight out a message potentially around learning something new, you know, literally practicing something, studying something, gaining a new skill. It could also be learning or relearning about yourself, you know, and maybe you have some limitations that you're putting on yourself, or you're kind of allowing others to push on you. Sometimes something that felt right for us or a way that we were at one point doesn't align anymore, and we kind of take a while to realize, or others take a while to realize, and until that point of realization it can feel like it's becoming a limitation. So just a message there around you know, checking in with yourself. Is there anything that, any way of being, anything you're doing, anything you're holding on to internally or externally that maybe just isn't in alignment for you anymore, or isn't resonating? We have my heart is open to freely expressing love. Wow. Okay, so some of you could be being directed by spirit, by your guides, towards some healing, some heart chakra healing. Could be to do with a specific recent situation, maybe I'm hearing for some of you. It could be more generally, you know, being open to receiving and expressing all things, including love. There's something else coming around this. What is it? Something around, this doesn't feel to me specifically love related, you know, in all senses of the word, but see how it sits with you. I'm getting a message around, sometimes we might think and feel, oh, I'm doing such and such or saying such and such to keep this person happy, or to stop them from doing this, that, or feeling that way. But really it's self-protection, because we're almost trying to manipulate and control their response so that we feel stable in how we will be received, or how we respond to their response. You know, does that make sense, I hope? So let's say I don't want to make someone upset because I find their tears awkward. You know, really it's about me and feeling like I don't like all of this emotion, you know? I don't know what's coming through. See if that resonates. If it doesn't, just let it go. But it could be something about stabilizing within yourself, grounding your emotions, having that confidence within yourself to be able to deal with any situation that arises, or any emotions that come towards you. Okay, I remove any illusion that hides the truth. The answers are before me. Yeah, okay. So there's really something here about releasing illusions, pushing through blockages. And I don't think this is like a really intense blockage that it's going to take you months and months to work through. I think what's happened is you've already done this, you've already made this progress, and now it's about just shedding that, excuse me, old skin. I'm getting an image of like a bird breaking through an egg, you know, cracking its way through. It's like one final push here. I feel a lot of transformation actually has already happened within for you. Maybe it's about giving yourself permission to, you know, completely embody this new version of you, to step into this. We have, oh, yes, look at this, trickery and insecurity. I feel the trick here, the lie that maybe you might be buying into on some degree, to some degree rather, is that you're not ready in some sort of way. You know, this feeling of insecurity or self-doubt, you know, your guides and spirit is saying, but that's the illusion, that's the trick. The truth is you're stronger than you know, you're more prepared than you know, you're more capable than you know. Very interesting that we have a focus on the heart here as well. So it could be something around specifically feeling like maybe I'm unlucky in love, or no one shows me love, or I don't know how to show love. And something here around love, emotion, compassion, self-love, love towards others, and love of all kinds, you know, romantic, familial, platonic, friendly. There's some illusion here that I think you're still holding on to, but you've moved beyond that. You could be saying, I don't like to open my heart to love because I always get tricked. I always meet, you know, nasty people. But maybe the illusion is that you haven't become wiser, you know, I mean, look, it's not, okay, if someone's nasty, it doesn't, I'm not, how can I explain this? it shouldn't be that we have to walk around, you know, trying to ascertain who has good intentions, who has bad. The onus is probably on the person with bad intentions to have a look within and sort themselves out. So, you know, but I suppose that would be a perfect world if everyone just sorted themselves out. What I mean here is, if you have been duped in the past or tricked, or you felt taken advantage of, you're going to see the red flags. You're going to notice them, pay attention to them. You know, think of the Queen of Swords. You've gained all of this experience. You can trust that you've got yourself to fall back on, is what I mean here. Okay, let's see what this one is poking out. Despondence. Okay. A message here around having a lot of potential to grow, to nurture anything you turn your attention to. And we do have this first message out about learning and growing beyond existing limitations. So, you know, you literally, maybe it's that you could reach for any part of the world and learn something. So for example, you could, let's say you live in France and you want to learn something about something that's going on in Tanzania. You know, maybe you can't literally go there, but you know, through the internet, maybe you can have some sort of a connection with whatever it is you're wanting to learn or know or understand. I feel something about something far reaching. It could also be more metaphorical, you know, you really pushing yourself, stretching yourself and realizing the world is my oyster, that sort of thing. The overall message so far is that you kind of aren't seeing how amazing you are, because in general, yes, but especially because I think you have recently almost completed a journey here. You know, you've been working on something, releasing something. You have a lot more to give to yourself and others than you realise. And look, this man here, it's almost like he's got this halo around his head. You might not realise how valued you are, how good you are in other people's eyes. You know, how they might look at you and think that you're such an amazing person and addition to their life, and whatever you're doing, the work you're doing, whether it's your actual career work or just how you're showing up in the world, is so valued, is so appreciated. I feel that you're really not seeing that. Okay. What else, please? Yeah, look at that reflection, absolutely. And this is, you know, this is at night when our reflection, if we were to look into some water, would be very obscured. So there is really something here about how you are or aren't seeing yourself. This is making me think of the moon card in tarot, which makes me think of Pisces energy. So you might be holding on to some sort of a dream here, a vision, a goal for yourself, and the advice, the guidance is, yes, reach for it. You can do this, you know, push yourself, go for it, trust in yourself, allow yourself to go on this journey. Also in terms of timing, you know, I do get the feeling that we're looking here at the conclusion of some sort of journey, as I've said, and you could quite literally have wrapped something up in Pisces season, which is, I'm not exactly sure, it could still be now, but we're sort of at the end of it if it is now. If not, we might just have gone into Aries, but very, very recently, at least if you're watching this when it's released. Otherwise, you could be looking back and saying, yeah, around Pisces season, that's, you know, sort of March, April time, that's when something really significant, something pivotal happened. Something as well, perhaps, that pushed you through like a spiritual awakening, a psychic activation, something like that. Okay, what else, please? We have lightning. So maybe a sudden realization of truth as well. Again, I know I keep on, but there's really a strong message here underpinning all of these cards coming out about you seeing your truth. And we have purification. Yeah, okay, and lots of blue here. So throat chakra activation, speaking your truth, being in alignment, showing who you really are. I mean, I almost feel like, you know, we could wrap this reading up now, because it's one clear message that seems to be being pounded over our heads at this time. It's see who you are, see how amazing you are, see yourself even in the way that others see you, because I think it's other people treasure you more than you even realize, and also giving yourself permission to be who you truly are. And look at this, see how we have this shooting star in the sky, even in this deck, and allow yourself to go for whatever this particular dream or goal is. Maybe in the past you weren't ready, maybe emotionally, psychologically you had to build yourself up, maybe you didn't have the resources, the finances, maybe you had negative influences around you, maybe your health wasn't up to scratch, but I feel whatever you needed, you have made the adequate changes. You know, you're ready now. On the back, we have unconditional love. So maybe, you know, maybe not everybody in your life loves you unconditionally, because that's quite a thing, you know, quite an ask. But I do feel this is talking about the fact, again, that you really are very loved, very treasured. And look at all this blue as well, you know, the real you, any parts that you're sort of hiding away from others or from yourself, will be accepted by others if you're able to embrace them within yourself. The advice is to give yourself that unconditional love. You know, allow yourself to be who you are. It could even be something's coming up that you're finding uncomfortable, because maybe society says this is a bad emotion, or this is a bad way to think and feel. Maybe you felt, well, I'm not that sort of person, and actually it seems like something's coming up that's making you feel that perhaps you are. You know, maybe if it's particularly uncomfortable, it's not something you're going to want to align with moving forward forever and ever, but it might be something that is needing to be addressed at this time, so it can be transmuted or released. I think it's just about accepting whatever is coming up and not pushing it away, and completely giving yourself permission to say, well, maybe I've changed. I'm allowed to. I'm an evolving living thing. You know, maybe I didn't realize this was a part of me. Okay, well, that's fine, but it seems it is. So now what are we going to do about it? You know, it's just about kind of not judging and accepting and allowing yourself to show whatever it is you feel comfortable showing, whatever you desire to show, and going forward, going after what it is that's in alignment here for you. Okay. The reflection card as well could, you know, again, it could be talking about something trying to come up from your shadow side. And often what's in the shadow are things that we have pushed there because we find them uncomfortable, or others find them, have found them, or we assume would find them uncomfortable. Your struggle is not an indication of failure. Exactly. And actually, in this respect, in this moment, I feel it's the sign of your success, that you're far along enough on your journey here in life, in terms of your self-work, whatever it is, that you're now ready to start seeing whatever this is. Don't focus on success or failure. Another message about failure. So don't focus on success or failure, just focus on effort, focus on trying. Yeah. And you know, I think a reason that this is coming out, not focusing on success or failure, is because you might be looking at something as a failure, or at least heading in that direction, but other people might really, really value this. I mean, look at this owl. You know, we might, or the owl might think, oh, I've got really strange coloured feathers here, you know, pinks and purples. All the other owls have like, they're white, or they have you know, like a barn owl, I think, it's like with the different browns and stuff. A tawny owl, I look so weird, why have I got like blue and purple, you know? But we might be thinking, that's incredible, this owl has colours I've never seen, and it's got glitter, you know. So we might think, oh, it's rare in a really special way. So you might be actually seeing something in a way that's very different to other people. Or this owl might be thinking, you know, how's anyone going to take me seriously when I have all this sort of this shiny stuff and this glitter all over me? I'm supposed to be a hunter. I'm you know, supposed to be stealthy and hidden in the shadows. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're supposed to be seen. Could be something there around, you know, peacocking a bit, showing people the real you a little bit more and letting them admire you. Okay. Okay, so let's get one of these cards. Can be kind of crazy and out there, but let's see if there's anything in terms of advice, guidance around maybe creating a ritual for yourself. You can use this however you like. You can just take inspiration from it or bits and pieces if you want to. Okay, we have a moon spell, and it says make your own Beltane brew, which is when is this? Oh, oh my goodness, the last evening of April. That's perfect in terms of timing. Again, at least when I'm releasing this. So, witches celebrate the Beltane on the last evening of April, and also just to say, you don't have to consider yourself to be a witch or doing magic. This is a holiday for feasting, dancing, laughter, and lots of lovemaking. Okay, didn't think we were going there. Honeyed mead is revered as the drink of choice for this red hot holiday, split into 2 words. Mix 1 quart of honey with 3 quarts of distilled water, boil for 5 minutes. You can vary the herbs to your liking, but can try a teaspoon each of clove, nutmeg, cinnamon, and allspice. Add a packet of yeast and mix, put in a large container, cover with plastic wrap, and allow it to rise and expand. Store the mixture in a dark place and let it sit for 7 days. Then refrigerate it for 3 days while the sediment settles at the bottom. Strain and store in a coloured glass bottle, preferably green. Ooh, green for the heart space. I mean, it could be green because, you know, green and browns preserve things better than a clear glass, but, you know, it's making me think of the heart chakra. Okay, you know, this is making me think of the kind of the pleasure, the enjoyment, the appeal to the senses around Bacchus, Dionysus. You know, after the harvest, let's enjoy our rewards. You see, there is really something here. It's time for you to harvest. Maybe you've literally been growing something, making something. But I do feel you've grown and you've changed in some way, you've evolved, you've adapted, and really all of it, every single part of this and the new you is to be celebrated. And I think you might be picking and choosing bits you like, bits you don't like, and also not quite embracing this change and celebrating it enough. Okay, so let's go to the tarot. Sorry about my throat. I mean, could be a hangover from being sick, but also could be about speaking your truth here, allowing people to see your truth. Okay, so what other messages, Spirit, do you have from my viewer and my viewer's higher selves? Spirit guides, what messages do you have, please, to help them live their happiest, highest and best life at this time? We have the Knight of Pentacles. Some Taurus energy there. We have 7 of Pentacles reversed, 8 of Wands in reverse. Okay, you have been, whatever you've been doing, you have been focused, diligent, you've been strong, you know, you've kept going, you haven't given up, you haven't been deterred, you've been very reliable, you know, you've shown up for yourself, maybe you've shown up for others if others are involved. But now, 7 of Pentacles reversed, yes, it's not a time for waiting anymore. And we know the 7 of Pentacles is about being patient, planting the seeds, watering them, picking up the weeds, you know, tending to the crops. Reversed, we're ready to harvest. Just as I was saying, it's now a time for the enjoyment, the rewards of all of the work you've put in. And I often say, you know, the Knight of Pentacles is the only knight, really, in my opinion, that's thinking sort of really far into the future and saying, one day I will be a King of Pentacles. Let me start laying the groundwork now, you know. And I think the thing is, you're now the King of Pentacles. But you might think you're still the Knight, or you might be keeping yourself in that position, or maybe others are looking at you in that way and you're kind of having to push back against that. Okay, what else, please? So, you know, especially thinking about happiness, sometimes if we feel unhappy, we might think, okay, I need to reach for something more to make me happy, or I need to go out there, I need to do something, I need to change something. I think in this case, you might find that letting go of things makes you happy, whether it's letting go of worrying, letting go of particular tasks that you've been doing, responsibilities, maybe even clearing out your wardrobe, your closet, you know, letting go of clothes that are really old and don't fit anymore, or that you don't feel suit you anymore. We have, yeah, the Six of Wands in the reverse. You know, this Eight of Wands reversed, Six of Wands reversed. I feel there's momentum picking up around you, trying to push you forward towards this feeling of victory, you know, being celebrated. And this is incredible. I was just talking about Dionysus, Bacchus, you know, who's all about wine, grapes, and look at her. Yeah, exactly. So this is about celebration, maybe, you know, with the community around you, your friends, your family, enjoyment, not feeling guilty. We have the Star. Exactly. What's your dream at this point? What is your goal, your highest goal? How can you give yourself permission to push forward, to reach for this more? Even if you're trying to manifest something, I know a lot of you, when I ask you what's your biggest wish, it will revolve around maybe even a specific person you have in mind. Why not give yourself permission then to I don't know, buy a new journal dedicated specifically to scripting, enroll on maybe a course of a manifestation coach who you really resonate with. Give yourself permission to really move forward and take any action that you're feeling guided to take here. Excuse me. In this deck, I believe the artist, the creator, I think the planet behind her, I think that's the connection to Chiron. But you know, Chiron in myth, the wounded healer, going around healing everyone, but ultimately he couldn't heal himself. I can't remember how it links to this card, but it's in the imagery in some way, and that's kind of the feeling here that you have. You know, this is why you're one of the reasons anyway you're so treasured by others, is how you show up, how you're consistent, how you're really giving. But I wonder if there's something around boundaries here as well, and seeing that now is the time to give to yourself. Oh my goodness, and I was talking about cracking through the egg. Can you see she's holding that egg in her hand, and it looks, you know, it looks like not only has something cracked through, it's her. See how it's her dress connected? So it's time for you to push through that final push and to say, yep, here I am. And actually the Empress in reverse has just popped out. So all of this abundance ready to come to you here. If you're saying, yes, but, you know, I'm trying, I have been trying, I think it's going to get easier for you in April. Again, I know that's time specific. If you're watching this at another time, I would say within about a month, you might really find that this, you know, showing up as the new you, or embracing all the parts of you and going after your dream, whatever it is here, it picks up speed, it feels more natural, it starts to get easier in April or in around a month's time. Some of you might have money coming in as well, unexpectedly. Yeah, Ten of Wands in reverse. This is about releasing, letting go. And look, we have the Ace of Cups. So you might be carrying something thinking, gosh, this is a struggle. How am I going to work through this? How am I going to make changes? And the message here is you don't need to. You can just let it go. You don't have to worry, well, where is it going to go? You know, what's going to replace it? I think all of that is going to be sorted for you because you've put in the work ahead of time. Knight of Swords. Page of Cups. I feel there's it's almost like your very grounded 3D self is trying to be slow and steady and cautious. Your higher self, or it might be even your feeling of intuition, your gut feeling here, is getting impatient and wanting to move forward much more quickly because it knows, it trusts, it believes in you, and it knows how capable you are and how ready you are, and that now is the time. Page of Cups. This is very interesting. She's got two faces and she's looking at the skull. If we think of death, you know, transformation here, it's like, do I push forward? Do I go back to my past self? Do I push forward to a new situation? Do I reach for my goal, that star in the sky? Or do I stay with what I have? Am I ready? Am I brave enough? You know, do I have all the resources? Yes, no, yes, no. And that's what I'm seeing here. It's like, yes, no, yes, no. And I think the overall message is yes, 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 you're absolutely ready. And you seem to have people around you as well, and maybe people you wouldn't even expect, who want to be here to encourage you, to celebrate you, to have fun with you, to cheer you on. there could be a message here as well around reaching out, you know, reconnecting with a friend you haven't spoken to in a long time, checking in with family, or, you know, whoever it is here, that maybe you miss or you feel a bit disconnected from, but they've always had the best intentions for you. They could be wishing to hear from you, and, you know, you might feel really good reconnecting, and you might think, why did I wait so long? That sort of thing is what I'm seeing. Okay, let me get one more deck before we go. Okay. Let's do the Animal Spirit Guides deck. One of my oldest and favourites. Okay, so what are your final messages, please, Spirit? And the guides of my viewers' higher selves. What are your messages? We have Platypus, stop complaining and focus your attention on the blessings in your life. Okay, so what this card talks about in the book is choosing what you focus on. Focus on the things that are working out, the ways in which you do feel confident. And again, it's all about perspective. You know, you might be thinking, oh, I'm not ready for this, or, you know, I've still got work to do, or whatever it is for your situation. But the message is actually no. Focus on how far you have come, how ready you are to move forward. I think once you start seeing these blessings around you that you have manifested, more and more are going to become apparent. We have Walrus, remain vigilant about the current situation. Pay attention to signs and omens and let them dictate your choices exactly. And more will reveal themselves. You know, it's like you take a step, another appears. You take a step, two more appear. And that's also the message of the Star, having faith, trusting, not knowing how the whole journey is going to play out and what's going to be required of you, but trusting in yourself that you can, you know, you can tackle anything that comes up. And just taking the next step, the next step, the next step. Excuse me. Okay, what else, please? We have Zebra. Let go of your fear and know that you are safe and protected at all times. Yeah, and this brings us back to the start. That message that came through around sometimes trying to maybe direct how a situation goes involving other people or another person because of not wanting to, or not feeling that you can deal with, cope with, respond to any which way they might react, you know, so you want to try and influence what the reaction might be. But the message here is you can deal with any reaction, so you don't have to temper yourself, you don't have to adapt yourself to a situation. You can just show up how you actually are, how you're feeling, saying what you want to say, you know, being you, showing you, and whatever the reaction is, you can cope with that, you can deal with that, definitely. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here. I hope this helps. I hope it resonates for you. If you've watched this far, let me know what you think in the comments, and hopefully I will see you soon. Bye.